It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
So much NFL history has come from within the walls of Soldier Field here in Chicago, and we're happy to return to it once again in its final chapters as an NFL stadium. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over them for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
Ball teed up. Brandon Aubrey out for the kick. And here we go from Chicago. Tyler Scott now to return it. He's got a lane up past the 30. And a good return here as he gets it out past the 35. So out come the Bears, ready for their first possession. And they're brought out by a player with immense expectations and promise in the league. He was picked first overall in 2024 out of USC, Caleb Williams.
Caleb was one of the most hyped prospects ever out of college football, and I'm not speaking out of turn or any hyperbole there. That's why he was the #1 pick. And you put on his highlight reel, Kate, you can put that highlight reel against anybody the last 50 years. The way that he creates and extends plays, the ways that he can run and still sling it totally off platform and off balance all over the field. He also does it with a flair, an eccentricity that is unique and really not common coming into the league as well. A superstar in the making.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Going to the ground again on first. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Williams on the play action. That one falls to the turf, couldn't hang on, it's incomplete.
That drop ruins the payoff to a well-designed play. It got a man open, it beat the coverage. That's a call they can revisit in the future with hopefully a much better job finishing the catch.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Williams. That's caught for the first. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. They'll take that kind of passing from the rookie out of USC. He gets him the first.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Moore's got it. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. Second and 3 now. Out of the shotgun, a give to Swift. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. They get 6 and a 1st down as well.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later, for that next 3rd down coming.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Williams from the gun. He's on the move. And they take this in for the score. The Bears finish up an excellent opening series. Caleb Williams, the touchdown. What an outstanding opening series, partner. They just wore down that defense as they marched their way to the end zone.
Yeah, it took a whole bunch of that opening script to find a touchdown, but it showed just how well designed that script was. It was the right sequence of plays to keep that ball moving and find the end zone while getting your offense established and into top gear right here early on.
Now Cairo Santos on to add the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Bears will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Santos has it all teed up and ready to send this away. Here's Kevontae Turpin on the return. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. So now the Cowboys getting an opportunity to send their offense out for the first time. Bringing them out is a Mississippi State 4th-round pick in 2016 who's found considerable success in this league, Dak Prescott.
I don't think I'm alone in this, Kate. To me, Dak is one of the easiest players to root for their success in the NFL. I think for me and for many others, it's based on all he's overcome, from tough playoff losses to significant injuries. But his leadership, his stats, his ability to play like an MVP in big moments, at his best, he really is all you could ever ask for. That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Broke through the tackle, and he'll get it up to the 44. Big gain, 14 on the play, and it'll be first down, Dallas.
Kate, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. First down, here's Dak. Escapes the puck, trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't, they call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Trying again, following the sack. Got Lamb, and it's complete. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. That tackle made by Tremaine Edmonds. This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. Dak now from the gun. And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on 3rd down? We chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
Cowboys punting it away here on 4th, and it's the long-time vet Brian Engeron now. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. Officially a 55-yard launch. And it's going to be Bears football. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Back now, pressure on its way. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Sometimes I wish everybody could feel what that feels like. When you're a QB and you just feel the air in the pocket getting sucked out and you know there's no escape, it can be just one heck of a deflating feeling. Not for that defense who puts a sack on the board.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Running with Swift out of the gun. Still motoring past the 30. And he's able to get it to the 33-yard line. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's good for a Bears first down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
Williams to throw on first. Has him on the quick hitter. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. 16 yards on the play. And that's a Chicago first down.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Running behind center with Swift. And he only manages one. Couple of defenders there to bring him down.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Going run again with Swift. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Call it 1 yard there, so consecutive 1-yard runs brings up 3rd and 8.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Swift hauls it in. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
On 4th down, it's Torrey Taylor on for the Bears to punt this away. Kavonte Turpin on the return for the Cowboys. So this one sails over the sideline, and they'll spot it where a touchback would go at the 20-yard line. Dallas sending its offense out for the 2nd time this game. And they'll try for better results this time around, Brock, after they had to punt it away last time out. They'll run here on 1st down. He's contained at the line for no gain. Javon Dexter escorted him to the ground. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
Big man up front said, not in my house. Let me tell you, Kate, once you're in the grasp of one of those big old fellas on the D-line, you're done. They would say it on the East Coast like this, it's over. Over.
Short pass brought in. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
They're set up at the 35 now. First and 10, Prescott. Finds him over the middle. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Now Prescott. Throw secured by George Pickett. And he winds up out of bounds, and that's going to be the end of the 1st quarter. And they can go ahead and stay in that huddle. We're at the end of the 1st quarter. 7-0 is our score. Back to Soldier Field in just a moment. Second quarter all set to begin, and it'll be Cowboys football. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Brought in by Jake Ferguson. And he's out of bounds just short of the 30.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Running back sent in motion. Completed here to Pickens. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. A 9-yard gain and good for a first down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Dak throwing again. That's complete to the sideline. Not a ton of room, but he does get the feet down.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Toss to the right side. And not much for him there. He's down to the 15-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so that's going to bring them to 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, that defense was flying to the ball. You see that outside toss. It's a pursuit drill that they work on over and over again. Get to that toss before it can really get started.
The handoff on 3rd and short. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 6-yard gain. That sets up 1st and goal.
I don't know what it is, Kate, but I love 3rd down runs. I really do. I know the receivers don't always like it because money down, they want the ball, but a 3rd down run for a first down can be so demoralizing to that defense.
To throw, Prescott. This one's caught. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
So from the 3, here's 2nd and goal. Dak to the air here. Cut near the goal line. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. Buckle up, it's 3rd and goal. They're headed up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown. The Cowboys start to fight back with their first points of this game. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score, don't let it go to 4th and goal, and he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
Now, how about the other side? Beating the defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop him on 3rd and goal.
Brandon Aubrey now on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Cowboys tie this game 7-7. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Devin Duvernay to return it. This return makes it up to the 25. The Bears and DeAndre Swift set for their next drive. They struggled to produce on that last series, but better results ahead as they take possession here. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll start this series with an option left. Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Donovan Wilson getting there for the stop. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
The difference right there, Kate, between that gain and a big hit for a loss, some really quick decision-making. He made a quick read, saw the running back was going to get hit if he handed it, and he pulls it himself for a positive gain.
Here's Swift on 2nd down. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense, and I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
First down, ball at the 36. Working from the gun, Williams. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And they scoop it up. Time to push for the line. And they corral him well behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, I think you know the only thing redeeming about that play, Kate.
They got the ball back.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, they got the ball back, but a whole lot longer down in distance.
Let's see what they dial up on a second and very long. Another try following the sack. Completed over the middle. And it's a nice gain, but still not enough for the first.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
Here he is on 3rd and long. He fires one deep down the middle. Big gain downfield. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. So a timely moment for a big play, and they get the first on 3rd and 19.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
So the big play gets him inside the opposing 45, Brock, with a new set of downs to boot. First down, here's Swift. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. A draw now. This is Swift. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's the type of call that offensively, man, it just builds so much confidence. I don't even think they were looking to get the first down. Just get to a manageable 3rd down, but instead they move the chains, and that is one disheartening look on that defense.
So we're at the 2-minute warning here from Soldier Field. The Bears with a chance to break this tie. It's a new set of downs for them at the 32. First down, Williams. Nowhere to go with it, so he just throws it away. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Now here's Williams. He's got him. That's Swift. It's a pickup of 11. And that's good for a Bears first down.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident a screen would get him enough yards for the first, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Williams. Has it down close. Touchdown, Chicago. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Santos now for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Bears break that tie and now lead by 7. Santos has it all teed up and ready to send this away. That's going to be taken in at the 8. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Cowboys back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
It's a gain of 12 there. And that's good for a Cowboys first down.
Okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I've seen it once. I've seen it 100 times. Next week on the practice field, this running back's going to say, see, I'm not just a running back. I can play receiver. And you receivers, you couldn't do my job, but I just showed you I could do yours.
And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 27 on the play. And it'll be first down, Dallas.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
They're set up at the 35 now. Throwing on first is Prescott. Catch is made down the right sideline. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with first and goal.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Another throw for Prescott. Too far out of the back of the end zone it goes, incomplete.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
So the incompletion on first, here's second and goal. Dak now from the gun. He's got it on the slant. And in for the Dallas touchdown. We've seen him do a lot more to reach the end zone on a catch, Brock. That one was kind of fed right to him.
Yeah, they say the running backs have a nose for the end zone. You know who else does? Every skill guy out there,
Yep.
because they want to put a touchdown on the board.
For the point after, here's Aubrey. The point after splits the uprights. And the Cowboys tie things up at 14. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Here's Duvernay on the return. He's stopped on the return at the 27. The Bears and this running back headed back out for a new series. And they've got a little over 30 seconds to work with. Just over 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. Williams to throw on first. Has him on the quick hitter. And he crosses the sideline a yard or two beyond, it looks like the 30.
Hey, Kate, you know this from covering the Seahawks, calling their preseason game. When Pete Carroll was there, if he said it once, he said it 100 times. Stay on top, stay on top, stay on top. You'll give up a short little out route like that, but just stay on top of the deep threat.
From the 32. Short pass brought in. And defenders are there to get him at the line. That was Micah Parsons making that play. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Williams from the gun. He's on the move. Oh, he's going to run for it. Timeout taken by the offense, their second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Williams to throw. No place to go, so he just threw it away.
Boy, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting the completion in that area, it not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Now Williams. He fires one deep down the left sideline. And that's incomplete with 7 seconds left. Time for 1, maybe 2 more snaps.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
3rd down, here's Williams. Swift hauls it in. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain. Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. So on 4th down, out is Cairo Santos for the Bears field goal. It's a deep shot for him from that left hash. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. So at halftime, it's the Bears out in front in Chicago. Now it's down to Florida, where Jonathan Coachman is standing by in Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. In the first half, it was the man from USC, Caleb Williams, who put on a solid performance. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our 3rd quarter. Santos has it all teed up and ready to send this away. Turpin with a return. And this drive will start inside the 25. Here comes the Cowboy offense for the opening possession of the 3rd. They'll try to get that ground game established better than they did in the opening half, Brock. See if they can attack that deficit. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Lone back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Back to the well again. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Third and a lone yard coming up. It's a design boot. Complete beyond the marker. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. 1st down, here's Dak. Finds a seam down the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
Move the chains. Got to move them chains. Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Prescott here from the gun. Hits his running back. And he's able to take this one down to the 25.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well, and it sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Dak throwing again. It's caught, Ferguson. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's good for a Cowboys 1st down.
Well, there's a time to be a little finessey with the football, put a little touch on, and then there's time to put your arm into it and let it eat. Throw it right through your target's chest. This one, well, that one right there was the latter. Smart to make a fastball zing in before anyone.
Touchdown, Dallas! So that, Brock, an important score here as they move out in front.
You know, Kate, this is the time of the game where fatigue starts to set in every once in a while, but that right there was a determined-looking drive. They were not going to be denied and able to score and take the lead.
For the point after, here's Aubrey. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Cowboys take a 4-point lead. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Scott now to return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Bears returning their offense and this running back to the field. They find themselves trailing after the opening drive touchdown, and heck, it really set up to be an entertaining second half if they're able to answer here. Here's Swift to start the drive. And they had that one contained right at the line. Donovan Wilson getting there for the stop. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
Staying grounded with Swift. And here's another stop made right at the line. Nice back-to-back reps from this defense.
You want to see the term read and react with a little video in the football dictionary? That's it.
Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, Williams. That's caught for the 1st. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They managed 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down, and nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Now an inside handoff to Swift. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Fans love the long ball in baseball. It's like they got the home run derby. But you know what? Talk to managers, and they will tell you small ball can win too. Singles and doubles, you add them up, you could win a lot of baseball games. Football coaches will tell you get runs of that length. It may not be a home run. It may not score points, but it can do some serious damage.
He's going to snag a couple of yards charging up the gut. That was Micah Parsons making that play. 2 yards on the pickup, and that leaves him with 3rd down and 3. Off the play fake, Williams. He has the first over the middle. And he's taken down at the 30. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
First and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Williams. Komet brings it in. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. On the ground with Swift. And he's taken down with a short gain to the 25. They pick up 1 on the run. Need more, though. That takes him to 3rd and 5. Williams will look to throw. And down he goes. The Cowboy defense gets it done. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
The ultimate team sport still has so many times games within the game, individual battles, and right now, they don't have an answer for this guy. It may be time to turn the line to Chip to find some way to protect the quarterback.
So on 4th down, out is Cairo Santos for the Bears field goal. This is a 50-yard look from the right hash. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that cuts the lead back down to a lone point.
The wind was at a sails, Kate, and it certainly helped that football fly true and right down the middle. And from that distance, to hit with that accuracy is one impressive shot.
Things trim back down to a single point, Brock, as they send this off and away. Turpin with a return. The Cowboys and quarterback Dak Prescott ready to get back to work. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards, too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Prescott. Completed here to Pickens. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
2nd and 3 now. From the gun is Prescott. He's got a man left. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Sent to the ground by Kyler Gordon. Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. Play action, Prescott. Hits his tight end on the corner route. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They're going to move the chains after a big play, 39 yards. So we're through 3 here. The Cowboys have it with a lead, but the win's not secure just yet. Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. 1st and 10, Prescott. Dumped off to his running back.
Well, there was never a play in any playbook I ever saw designed for a lost yardage play when you throw the ball. But if there's any solace, at least it was 1st down. A couple more chances to make up for it.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Off the play fake, it's Prescott. Caught near the goal line. And in for the Dallas touchdown. I think we actually saw him call it early there, Brock. He made that throw, and then he signaled it was gonna be a touchdown. Like a guy calling it before his three-pointer goes through the net.
Oh, you mean like Larry Legend Bird?
Ooh.
In the three-point shooting contest in the 80s?
Or maybe like a Tyrese Maxey, you know, but whatever.
Well, the kids aren't alive, I get it. And they weren't alive in the 80s. They didn't see Larry Legend do it, but he did, and he anticipated, just like the quarterback.
For the point after, here's Aubrey. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Cowboys grow their lead to 8. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Here's Duvernay on the return. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Chicago's offense trotting out there for another series. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. Williams on the play action. And they're going to tag a defender with this one. So a little too much contact on the part of the defender, and the officials flag him for it. Running it after the penalty. And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They'll run now with Swift. And a bit of deja vu as they stop him at the line once again.
I know these DNs love to get to the quarterback. I know that sacks many times equals a bigger payday. But doing the dirty work, playing the run well, that's what the best of the ends do in this league.
All right, Cowboys showing nickel set, 3rd down. Throwing now off play action. Flushed out of the pocket. And he's brought down after a short gain.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
Chicago brings out the punting unit. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. And this looks like it got just inside the 20 as it flew out, and indeed it did. They're putting the ball at the 19-yard line. The Cowboys ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this 2nd half. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. They kick the running back in motion. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Pickup of 12 on that play. And it'll be first down, Dallas.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Throwing on first is Prescott. Short pass brought in. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
2nd and 3 now. Another throw for Prescott. Dump off caught by his back. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
You know, you compare and contrast stats over the decades, Kate. One thing you see is the completion percentages are through the roof. In this day and age, compared to the 60s and the 70s, a big reason is just completions like that. Utilizing every one of your eligible receivers. That time, a running back in the flat.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Ferguson's got it, complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage, he gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
First down, here's Dak. Escapes the pocket. He can run it. That's 16 on the pickup. And that's good for a Cowboys first down.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Here's Prescott, 1st and 10. He brings it in. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. Second and 3 now. Hand off to the back. And he is into the end zone for a Dallas touchdown. The Cowboys go up by 2 scores as they try to put this one away. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with 1 end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
For the point after, here's Aubrey. The point after splits the uprights. And the Cowboys lead by 15 now. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Scott now to return. He's brought down to end that return as we've reached our 2-minute warning. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Here's Williams. Has his man, it's Swift. And this one doesn't go far.
As an offense, you don't call a screen, Kate, expecting to gain just a few yards. You call it expecting to break off something big and substantial. But it's up to that defense to stay ahead of it, to keep it contained to something much smaller. Case in point right there.
Working from the gun, Williams. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And then brings up 3rd down. Now to throw. That's caught for the first. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field. Would have liked to have kept that big play, but the officials and penalties say no, and it's got to come back. To throw. Moore's got it. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Sticking in the air, it's Williams. Throwing the out route complete. And he's able to cross midfield before going out. Following that completion, remember the O-line looks to be in some pain. They're headed out to take a look at him now. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 48. We've got a screen to the running back. And a solid gain there. Gets him across the 45 before he goes out. A 5-yard gain on the play. And that's a Chicago first down.
Well, this is the type of game we've come to expect from him as a runner, toting the ball, but he's just as adept at turning the screen into the same kind of yardage, too.
Williams to throw on first. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down. Williams from the gun. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. And he hits the end zone. Touchdown! I hope nobody left early, Brock, because we have still got a game. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Extra point try coming. This would importantly make it a 1-score game. The kick is good, and they've moved back within a possession in the 4th. So everything comes down to this onside kick with less than a minute to go. Oh, and the kicking team's got it. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Okay, they pulled it off. Now they have one final gasp. Either get into the end zone or leave here with the L.
How many times do we see these teams at this point of desperation late in the game needing a kick and not get it? So nice to see one of them actually rewarded with all that effort. Now it comes down to the execution of this offense. Can they do what their special teams just did and go execute, score a touchdown, and find a way to win?
To the line for a new set of downs, only a lone timeout at their disposal. Setting up to pass. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's able to take this one down to the 25.
You know, Kate, it is so hard on these defenses to try to keep an eye and monitor on these running backs when they leave the backfield, especially if he's waiting to chip a defender or delays on the start of his route. He's really an underrated part of their overall passing game.
And Willie, no, he's not going to escape. They take him down on a pivotal play late in this ball game. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Looking to throw it. Coverage holds up, and he just had to get rid of it.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th. Here he is to throw. He's got it to his running back. And he's brought down inside the 10 at the 9. So the Cowboys come in and take this one on the road. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. The Cowboys are winners as we say so long from Chicago.